Ruthless and cold are the Greyjoys, rulers of Pike and commanders of the Iron Fleet. Their sigil is a golden kraken against the blackest depths of the sea. The Greyjoys' house motto of "We do not sow" suits the philosophy of the Iron Islands perfectly because they only reap what is theirs, never paying for it or gaining it from honest work. The Greyjoys can trace their ancestry all the way back to the Grey King in the Age of Heroes, a man said to have slain Naga, the sea dragon, and crafted its bones into a giant throne room, keeping it lit with the fire it stole from the beast's belly. He also wore robes of seaweed and married a mermaid. With the exception of 2 hereditary lines that stuck, the people of the Iron Islands had mostly democratically elected their kings. When the last Iron King, Harren the Black, was killed by Aegon and his dragons at Harrenhal, Aegon Targaryen left the people of the Iron Islands to decide who should rule as their new liege lord, leading them to pick Victarion Greyjoy. Going way forward to 10 years before the current events of the series, Balon Greyjoy saw Robert's rebellion overtake the Targaryen throne, and had the ill-conceived idea to start his own rebellion to gain independence from the rest of Westeros. He had his brothers Euron and Victarion burn the entirety of Tywin Lannister's fleet, leaving him free to attack the coast unchallenged. However, as soon as they made landfall at Seaguard, House Mallister, who ruled the castle, easily repelled the attack and killed Balon Greyjoy's oldest son, Roderick. At this point, Robert Baratheon had had enough of Greyjoy's crap, and sent his brother Stannis to sail around the continent and trash the Iron Fleet. Meanwhile, Robert and Ned Stark took the fight directly to Balon's front yard at Pike. They smashed the front gate, killing Balon's second son Meryn in the process. Balon saw that all hope was lost and surrendered almost immediately to Robert. Despite the advice of both Stannis and Ned Stark, Robert let Balon live, and in an incredibly forgiving act of charity, even let Balon remain Lord of the Iron Islands. But Robert wasn't stupid. To make sure that the Greyjoys never rose up again, he handed Balon's last remaining son and heir, Theon, to live with Ned Stark as a political hostage, ensuring his death should Balon ever try anything again. And luckily for Theon, Balon has remained in the Crown's good graces up until the start of the series as we know it now. As for my least favorite and favorite Greyjoy, I know there's sort of a cult following among fans for Balon's brothers, especially Euron, and while I do find them worthwhile characters, I wouldn't say that any of them are really essential to the bigger picture of the story, or at least they haven't been yet. I actually have a sneaking suspicion that HBO are going to cut at least one, if not all of them, from ever making an appearance on the show. And to be perfectly honest, I'd be happy to see at least Victarion and Euron just stay in the books where there's more room for them anyway. But I'm not going to complain if they end up making it to the screen either. Theon is one of my favorite characters in the entire series, which, if you picked up on the fact that I like characters that seem to screw up a lot, should come as no surprise. You see this guy struggle so much just to be able to find something to rest his head on, but being someone of 2 worlds but a part of neither makes it impossible. I like Asha as well, but given how especially well written Theon's chapters were, I still have to go with him. Alrighty, onto those spoilers. As I say, depending on where HBO decides to go with the Greyjoys, you might not see a lot of the things or even some of the characters I'm about to talk about on screen later, but this will cover everything up until the end of A Dance with Dragons. The waves of spoilers are coming at you in 3, 2, 1. Theon, after taking Winterfell, gets captured by Ramsay Snow of House Bolton and is tortured and mutilated within an inch of his life. Eventually he does escape and he ends up in the custody of Stannis Baratheon. Failing to gain leadership of the Iron Islands at the Kingsmoot after Balon mysteriously slips and falls to his death at Pike, Asha returns to Deepwood Motte in the north but is attacked and captured by Stannis as well. Euron wins the Kingsmoot over his brother Victarion by telling the people of the Iron Islands that he will conquer the 7 kingdoms by supposedly using a dragon horn on Daenerys' dragons to control them by magic. Euron begins attacking the Reach to ultimately try and take control of the Tyrell seat of Highgarden, meanwhile sending Victarion with his marriage proposal to Daenerys. Unbeknownst to him though, Victarion plans to try and take Daenerys for his own wife. This leaves the drowned priest Euron as the only Greyjoy left in the Iron Islands. Thanks so much for watching, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my next video, all about the Westerlands and the rich and powerful Lannisters that rule with a mighty golden fist.